FBI drops new subpoena on the super mayor, Tiffany Henyard, and her boyfriend, 𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗛. Shocker, right? I know you're shocked. Let's get into it. Let's get into the details. Here we go. And I know that I said I wasn't going to cover Tiffany Henyard anymore, but when you've got the FBI doing a subpoena on a real estate deal, I'm a real estate guy, managing broker and appraiser for 30-something years. I just couldn't resist. The tiff, the gift that just keeps giving. Let's check out this video from WGN.
Well, there is new evidence the FBI isn't allowing Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard's dramatic defeat at the ballot box from slowing their corruption investigation.
WGN Investigates has obtained copies of new subpoenas that show the investigation is widening. Ben Bradley has more.
We've obtained a copy of the subpoena, which is dated Election Day and was hand-delivered by FBI agents to Dalton village officials late Thursday. It targets a development in Dalton that we've previously reported on.
I'm happy to announce that these two Black African-American business owners, y'all give it up for them, business owners. Yeah. Tiffany and Patrick, they're about to put up an upscale, sit-down food restaurant.
Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard appeared to back the development, attending a groundbreaking in 2023. But when the 5-story restaurant...
That's a nice-looking building.
An entertainment venue was built, its owner says Henyard tried to tank the project.
She has destroyed lives because she's not doing her job.
Tiffany Henyard told WGN Investigates Henyard's boyfriend previously owned the land and she thinks regretted selling it once he saw the building complete and the project's potential. What do you think the delays were all about?
They wanted to take over the building.
Was that their goal? These people have got millions of dollars into the construction of this. They've got probably all their net worth, all of their equity tied up in this project. Was Tiffany Henyard and 𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗛, were they trying to take over? What other reason would you have for literally being in contempt of court? Not indirect, but directly in contempt of court. And that's where I jumped in on this story. I reached out to somebody that was local in Chicago and said, hey, can you get me a number for that lady? Tiffany, I forget what her last name is. I'd love to call her and talk to her. Because the reason that Tiffany Henyard gave and her attorney gave for their direct and indirect contempt of court for not giving out the liquor licenses, it made no sense. It made 0 sense. Remember, this is a transfer inquiry that we're about to get into here. The probe, the FBI subpoena, is they're looking at all the transfer history of and all of the permitting that has gone on this project that is done and just needs the liquor license to be able to go. And that's where the judge was involved saying, hey, Tiffany Henyard, you need to issue these licenses now, pronto. And she didn't. And now the FBI is taking a little look-see. I'm interested. I'm in. What do we got going?
Lawsuit and a judge's order to get the Henyard administration to finally issue a needed liquor license in January. Now, 9 months after the FBI first served wide-ranging subpoenas on both South suburban governments Henyard runs, FBI agents went back to Village Hall. Their newest subpoena focuses solely on the restaurant and entertainment venue development. It demands inspection, code enforcement, and licensing records, and specifically seeks communication between Village of Dalton personnel, including Henyard's boyfriend.
Okay.
Positive press for a change. You guys have told me up for 4 years because you guys help with that. And that's why my town is all this activity going on now.
Hours before 88% of...
What do you expect, you knucklehead? What do you really expect when you've got the FBI doing a little probe action because you held up liquor licenses? This is all so obvious, right? This appears to be so obvious. If she would have just issued the liquor licenses, you know what I mean? So where are you going? Are you going to try and hold these properties hijacked for what? For non-payment of something? Because you got a corporation's name, like the explanation that they threw out? When I heard that explanation of, well, there's another corporation on the paperwork, I'm like, That sounds like nonsense. That sounds like sheer nonsense. And the judge is looking at all this stuff going, you're in direct contempt of court. Let's go. You get those things issued. And Tiffany Henyard and her attorney were like, there's another entity on the line of ownership. And you're like, really? Really? That's what you're going with, huh?
Dalton voters rejected her. The defiant mayor blamed everyone but herself for her political problems.
My residents do love me despite fake news not showing the good that I do in the community, because I do a ton of good. But y'all just painted me as bad news for 4 years.
We shouldn't have to sue the village to renew our license or to get a license. That should never happen.
Agreed.
Any village.
It nearly bankrupted you.
And yes, it has. It really has. And we're still here. We're trying to make it happen. But yes, it really has.
So because of the delay of, this building getting up and going, they've got how many months of interest carry on this building? I mean, this is not a cheap building to build. I mean, it's just square footage alone, just structure, infrastructure, all of that, you name it. This is a good sized commercial building and it is not cheap. So the interest carry on that alone is enough to put somebody in the ground. So guaranteed, they've had to take out additional loans. If we went back through the history on this property, this thing is probably encumbered 10 ways from Sunday because of Tiffany Henyard. It's got loans on it because of Tiffany Henyard. Now, if they would have been issued their liquor license, then they're able to get up and running, start bringing that cash in, start making payments. Now they're no longer in default. That's what she's talking about, right?
Henyard has not been charged with wrongdoing. Her attorney did not respond to a request for comment on the new subpoena. Neither did her boyfriend's attorney. But he previously told me that claims against his client are a result of the heated political environment in Dalton.
What a bunch of nonsense, right? What a bunch of absolute nonsense. So, yeah, let's watch this quick video here.
The mayor of Dalton was back in a courtroom today. A business owner took legal action after she says the mayor refused to sign paperwork she needed to open her business. Regina Waldrop was in the court for today's hearing.
This is what the FBI probe is investigating.
Time this year that this case has been before a Cook County judge. Today, the owners of the business are able to walk away with 2 of the 3 liquor licenses they applied for, while Mayor Henyard is facing a serious charge from the judge. Frustration and relief for a small business owner.
It's about time.
Tiffany Henyard left a Cook County courtroom with the liquor licenses she needs to open St. Patrick's, a family-owned restaurant and banquet hall on Lincoln Avenue in Dalton.
This should have been over, like he said, in November.
Henyard took legal action after she says she wasn't able to obtain licenses from Mayor Tiffany Henyard, who also serves as liquor commissioner. On Wednesday, Cook County...
So now she's got to pay an attorney. And they went to court. They had multiple times in court. Every single one of those times, you got a business owner that is on the front end of opening up a big business, big building like this, liquor licenses. I mean, the stuff you got to have in place for a business like that, just mind-blowing, mind-blowing. And now you got additional court appearances for your attorney because the damn mayor won't give you your licenses that you should just, here you go. Let us help you create more income for the village of Dalton. How about we do that? Here's your license. Get your place open. Let's start the money coming in. Let's start the money rolling in, right? Instead, Tiffany Henyard, we don't really know what the reasoning behind this was, but whatever it is, it doesn't sound right, right? And if the FBI is involved, maybe it's got some teeth to it, because the other stuff that they've got, I don't think has a lot of teeth to it. And I've said that for months. I don't think she's going to get indicted on the other stuff. Overspending? Okay. Prove it? Tricky. This chain of events here? I'm interested.
Judge Cecilia Horan gave Henyard until 5 p.m. Thursday night to sign the licenses, but that deadline not met. In court Friday, Henyard signed them after the judge threatened her with contempt. After the licenses were signed, the judge found Henyard in indirect criminal contempt, but she wasn't taken into custody.
There are different kinds of contempt. What that means is that in the presence of the court, the mayor was disrespectful to the authority of the court.
She didn't sign them.
Because she was asked by the judge, will you sign the licenses, yes or no? And instead of answering the judge's question, she was, she didn't talk in circles. So because of
standard,
held her in indirect criminal contempt.
Max Solomon is Henyard's attorney.
It's very important for the people to understand that the documents that were signed today had another entity on there. And
So that was the holdup on you.
that was the holdup. That was the
another entity on there. Are you kidding me? Who is it? Who's the entity? Why was that entity on there, and why are you holding up a license over that? This should have been made clear months ago, back in November, right? I mean, am I missing something here? And this guy here, this attorney here, I don't think anybody has any confidence in his ability to do anything legally. He just doesn't. He's kind of a knucklehead, right? He's just, and so he's coming up with some stuff, and you're like, okay, so you got another entity on the application. Why wasn't this pointed out at the beginning when the application was first sent in? This building is up and done and ready to roll. Instead, you got, these Mickey Mouse people just throwing out, it didn't have the right paperwork lined up. And you're like, and the FBI is like,
only thing.
Kamara says she's lost time and money. She says she wants Henyard to pay.
We want her to be fined. We want her to pay my client's attorney's fees. And we want damages.
We are wasting money every day. This building, nice building that people could use, and jobs.
As for that criminal contempt charge, the judge is giving Mayor Henyard time to respond. This matter heads back to court next week. Reporting from Daily Center, I'm Regina Waldrop, NBC5 News.
All right. And then after that court date where there was indirect contempt, it went to direct contempt the next time. And the judge basically said, what in the F are you doing? Sign these right now. And held her in direct contempt. I mean, she's literally rogue. She has gone rogue. Let's look at the actual paperwork that we've got going on here. So let's take a look at the actual subpoena. Let's just take a quick peek and see what we got going on. All right. So up here, you've got parcel numbers. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 4 that are commonly known as 15022. That's the restaurant. Village of Dalton inspection fee schedule. They want to know, they're trying to figure out, okay, what'd they pay for? What's this look like? Records of fees paid, copies of citations, correspondence between emails, between all of the folks indicated here. Let's look and see who that is. Village of Dalton, Singh Sangha and Jatinder Sangha, Key Urban Concepts Incorporated, Kamal Woods, and TAC Investment Group. So you got investors in there. You got Kamal Woods in there. You've got who knows who some of these folks are. And then you've got the Village of Dalton. You got the Village of Dalton in there as well. So, and then we go on to inspections due to transfer of ownership or title. Okay. Inspections necessary for any past or ongoing litigation. All right. Inspections due to building and occupancy permit request. Okay. Inspections initiated by complaints made by citizens or government entities. Inspections performed on an annual or biannual basis, or any other inspections mandated by law. They're going after the city. They're going after the Village of Dalton because they believe there is just something absolutely sideways here, and they're looking for it. The accompanying federal grand jury subpoena seeks direct records. So you can supply the records to 𝗪𝗓𝗪𝗧𝗛, and that's in Chicago, Illinois, and the Attorney General will take a peek-see and see what we've got going on. This is from Brian Nettles. He is the Special Assistant United States Attorney, and Morris Pascal, Acting United States Attorney. So they're doing a little fishing expedition. You've got a fishing expedition here in the Village of Dalton. What's it going to come up with? I would have said, after Tiffany Henyard lost the election last Tuesday, 88 to 12%. She only got 12% of the votes. Just, 500 something votes. I think that's what it finally was. And you guys in Dalton, you guys just don't really vote, right? Like a quarter of the population votes. 25% of the population votes. All right. Okay. All right. Whatever. But at least enough of you voted and didn't vote Tiffany Henyard back in, because this is the kind of nonsense that has been happening behind the scenes. You've had video after video after video showing small business owners being impacted negatively from the current administration, from the Tiffany Henyard administration, not issuing permits, basically shakedowns. Oh, you're not contributing to my campaign fund? Well, we're not going to reissue your license. That kind of thing going on time and time and time again. So when I saw this case, I'm like, all right, they've seen something. They've got something that they're going after here. In particular, the overspending. I didn't see enough there where I thought, oh, okay, that doesn't really cause me any concern, because you can still justify expensive business expense versus just, like the dude who, what was it, the Atlanta mayor who spent 26 grand going to Ghana, and he used the city's the city's credit card to do that. That guy is going to have a tough time explaining those charges. Whereas Tiffany Henyard did it the quasi-legal way, which is they're going on a business trip. They're going to Las Vegas to bring in business. They're going to learn how to generate business to your community through shopping center development, something like that, right? Something along those lines. And so they go, she takes a, contingency of people. You can do that. You can do that. Now, should she have taken all those cops? Should she taken Andrew Holmes, who allegedly had sex with, it just, then the story just kind of goes off the rails. But what the FBI is looking at here, what the feds are looking at here, is specifically a property that has been known in play for shenanigans. You got shenanigans going on. What do these shenanigans look like? Well, we're about to find out, because you've got information not only from the village, but just about everybody in that chain. And then you've got Kamal Woods. We'll see what Kamal Woods comes up. Hey, Kamal, what do you got going on here? If he owned this previously and was trying to do a shakedown by basically not issuing them a license and getting them to default, and then he takes the property back with the building, ooh, that could have legs. And by that, I mean that could have teeth for real charges to do real time. What are they going to come up with? What are the feds going to come up with? What is the FBI going to come up with? That's what we need to figure out. So I will be doing at least one more podcast on Tiffany Henyard. So make sure you're subscribed, hit that like button, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. And I'll see you on at least one more. Uno más. Uno más. All right. That's it for me. Thanks so much for being here. I'll catch up with you in the next one. Bye for now.